So I recently purchased this Sure-Trac dump trailer, and when I was looking to buy it and doing my research, I couldn't find any owner reviews of any kind. I found a couple of dealer videos, but I'd have found it helpful to hear from an owner myself, so I thought I'd put this up in case it could be of help to other folks. So this is a small hydraulic dump truck. It's a power up and power down. It's 8 feet, well the bed size is 100 inches, so it's just over 8 feet 4 inches long and 54 inches wide, 4.5 feet wide. And it has a gross rating of just a tad under 3,000 pounds. The trailer itself weighs 900 and something pounds, so it has a payload capacity of 2,000 pounds, a ton. Although the actual axle has a rating of 3,500 pounds, so there's a good margin on the axle in terms of if one was to go over a little bit on the 2,000 pounds. And I bought it to be able to use on the road, run to the quarry, pick up stone, pick up mulch or pick up topsoil, or anything else like that. But also to run around the property. I maintain now our own property here, and we have trails and that sort of thing, so it's nice to be able to have something that pulls easily behind either my John Deere 4.45 or 4.25, and this is a nice compact trailer for doing that. I like the way that the wheels are tucked in underneath there. They're 10-inch wheels, but they're wide. They're pretty fat tires on there, and they're very much up to the job. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. They're tucked under, so you don't have anything outside of the actual dimensions of the body here, which is obviously different from my old 8x4 trailer that I built several years ago with the wheels on the outside with the mud guards and everything like that. It didn't come exactly as you see it in there. I have made some modifications. I planned these modifications before I even bought the trailer, because I wanted it to be a little bit more versatile. So since I've had it, I built these extension sides here. I made them out of the composite decking board tracks, I believe it is, because I didn't want to have to paint it and stain it and maintain it. And it's come out really well. This is heavy material to work with. It weighs a lot and it's tough to cut and everything, but I think it was well worth it. There are no stake facilities on this particular trailer as such, but these supports here are hollow, and I just cut pressure treated lumber to put up inside there, and then drilled through from the inside there. What I like about this particular model, the actual inside of the trailer is very clean. The whole thing is powder coated. It's got a nice finish on it. There are 4 really big tie downs there. I don't know if you can see them. I hope you can in this light. In each corner, these are really heavy duty welded tie down loops, there. I've added some obviously to the extended sides. The other feature of this particular trailer is the front panel and the rear panel both slide up. They're covered in this grippy material, and then they slide onto this. They slide out and they slide onto this bar here to become ramps. So if you have an ATV you want to transport, or I might occasionally want to take one of my tractors somewhere, I can run them up inside here. They should just about fit. Probably not with the deck on, but the mowing deck, but the tractors themselves should fit in there. It runs on the road really nicely. I purchased it from a dealer about 75 miles away from here in Amsterdam, New York. So I did a lot of highway miles bringing it back, and it drove beautifully. I was very impressed. It was very stable, didn't really know it was on. So I'm looking forward to being able to take this to the local quarry, pick up crushed stone, that sort of thing, which I've got quite a few landscaping projects in mind for. That's the modifications I did, as I say, and I sort of planned these when I was before I even got it. Put the sides on, but also The battery, and I'll show you in a minute, in the way it comes, is underneath there, along with the hydraulic pump and reservoir and the ram. Very exposed. I didn't like that. So when I built the sides, I also made a small platform that bolts down onto the frame there, and I mounted this steel box made from I guess what you call it, diamond plate steel, lightweight but nice. And I mounted the battery there, got extension cables, mounted it there, hooked up a battery tender so that I can just keep it charged, because it doesn't charge from the vehicle or anything like that, so you need to keep this on maintenance charge most of the time when you're not using it. And of course, here's the remote for operating the hydraulic lift. And it's got plenty of extension lead on this, so you can operate it from the driving position, or I can walk around at the back there and operate it from behind there. And let me show you how this goes up and down, give you a good sense. Let's pull some cable out of here. Run it up a little. And again, it's power up and power down. There's no sort of gentle way up or gentle way down. It's like full on and full off. So so there we go. That's in the full up position. That, as you can see, see what I mean by it being vulnerable. It gets a lot of dust underneath here and dirt. And if you're on the road, it's going to pick up a lot of dirt road. But that's where the battery was. I'm much happier with it being there. And also the there's a little holster for the remote underneath there that was where it was originally. But again, I believe it's much nicer to be out of the elements inside this box here. That's the ram. It's a good size, as you can see. The and this is a prop here, so you can put this prop up if you're working underneath it or needing to keep it up. There you get a good sense of the size of the wheels and the axle. And what I also like about it is the lights are nicely tucked away underneath there. They're all LED. They're nicely out of the way underneath, as is the license plate. I find with utility trailers, license plates are very vulnerable, especially when you're using them off-road a lot. This is tucked under beautifully, and the lights are tucked under there beautifully as well. I'll take it down now. Again, there's no soft landing on this. There you go. But that's the way it works. 2-inch ball comes with a jack, a fold down jack, a wind up with a wheel on it, which is very handy. What else can I say? I'm thinking about maybe giving the bed a coating of some kind of rubberized, truck bed type coating in there to prevent any rust. But it is a very good heavy duty surface in there already. It pulls very nicely behind this 445, and again, I have nothing but as of now good things to say. The one thing I would say about this idea here, obviously they're trying to be as give you the versatility of being able to have ramps. The reality is, if you've got a lot of material in here, the material falls inside the ramp here. So when you're then lifting this, by the way, this just is what I made, and this little bit here will just pull out. So if you're lifting the ramp out, it's obviously has to be fairly heavy, and it's got this lip to it here where if you're carrying stones, going to be in there. So I'm not exactly enamored with that. I like the idea of having the ramps built in so that when I do want to transport something, but that's going to be very occasional. So I am thinking about most of the time having some fold out doors here that fold either side all the way around, flush with the sides. So I paid $2,290 plus tax, obviously, and license fees and that sort of thing for this trailer. And that's I thought that was a good deal. That's a little bit under the list price that the manufacturer lists these at, and that was from the dealer. I think you can only buy them through the dealership network. I believe they're made in, I believe Sure-Trac is in Indiana. That's where they're made. And when I was doing my research, I was looking at, there are quite a few brands out there making dump trailers, but I didn't find anybody else that had a trailer. This suits me perfectly. It's the right size, it's the right weight. I'm not hauling something bigger than I really need to haul, but it can carry a certain amount of weight when I want it to carry. And of course, the convenience of being able to dump stuff. It saves time and it saves my back. So I've been wanting one of these for quite a while. But $22.90 I think is a really good deal for a trailer of this, and it is nicely built. Again, one or two little touches here I think lend themselves to some improvements. Hence, I've been doing my own customization. But the fundamentals of the trailer itself are very, very good. I've only had it a couple of weeks, but so far so good. I haven't taken it to the quarry yet to take on a big haul of stone, but I'm sure it's going to do the job very, very well. Anything else I looked at was going to be heavier than this and bigger, and it was going to be in the 3,000s, well into 3,000, around the 3,500 mark. So this was right where I wanted it to be budget-wise, since I'm not a, this isn't for business. This is just for me to use on my property. So I think it's a good deal. I can recommend it. If anybody has any particular questions who's considering one of these, I'll be happy to try and answer them for you as well. So again, hope this is helpful. I know I'd have found it helpful to have heard from an owner when I was considering purchasing one of these. So if you like it, give us a like on YouTube, and you might want to subscribe because I have other videos online as well.